The black community suffers from the worst health disparities. The Minister of Wellness Ministries is the only pro-black Bible-based health ministry of its kind. We teach biblical health principles that can eradicate obesity and disease. We have everything you need to feel better than you've ever felt in your life. Act now to get your biblical health ebook and DVD, both for free. TheMinisterofWellness.com, TheMinisterofWellness.com.
So in 2015, a Democrat policy advisor was fired from the Arizona Senate after sending emails to her supervisor expressing that she was being paid less than her white male counterparts because of her race and gender. Now, this is a black woman. Now, after a court determined that Talonya Adams was wrongfully terminated, one of the persons responsible for getting her fired is apologizing. Now let's go ahead and roll this clip because this happens all the time to black people.
Allow me to say this clearly and unequivocally. I apologize to Ms. Adams.
That was Secretary of State Katie Hobbs Wednesday, expressing regret for her role in firing Talonya Adams from the state Senate staff in 2015. Adams showed in court the firing amounted to retaliation after she requested a raise and after she took emergency leave to tend to a sick child. Today, standing in front of the federal court where she proved her case to two separate juries, Adams cast doubt on whether Hobbs's apology was sincere.
Her statement is not an apology. It's designed to allow her to get over a political hurdle.
Adams' outspokenness comes as Hobbs is hoping to secure the Democratic ticket for governor.
I call for Katie Hobbs, current Secretary of State, to drop out of the race for governor. She is a distraction.
Hobbs shows no sign of backing down, vowing in her apology video to take steps to prevent discrimination if she's elected governor.
Discrimination hurts. It is painful. It doesn't matter whether it's asserted by an individual that is a Republican or a Democrat. It makes a difference when it's asserted by someone that has extraordinary power.
So as you heard that Katie Hobbs, a Democrat, supposed to be our friends, right? I thought it was only the Republicans treat us this way. But more and more black folks are finding out how these Democrats really get down. The Democrats are no different than the Republicans. Now, she said sorry. No, she was sorry she got caught, okay? And so what ended up happening in 2015, the sister emailed the Minority Chief of Staff, Jeff Winkler, and then Minority Leader Katie Hobbs about what she believed was being undercompensated for her service. Stated that she did more work than the 8-hour work days. It said than her timesheets reflected. She also met with Senate Chief of Staff Wendy Baldo in person to talk about this issue. Days later, she read in a legislative reporter that a white male policy advisor for the majority, Garth Camp, was getting paid $30,000 more than she was, despite doing a very similar job to hers. After receiving the proper protocol from Baldo, she proceeded to bring her concerns via email to the elected Democrat leadership, of which Hobbs was a member. As Adams then left for Seattle to see her ailing son, but did not complete a briefing project before she left. Now, when Winkler found out, he brought the fact that her work was undone to Baldo. Winkler and Hobbs, the three agreed on February 20th, 2015 to fire Adams, stating that she did not believe that she could do the work and pointing to the incomplete project as evidence of the lack of confidence. And she was told by phone that she was terminated from the position that she held since 2012. Now, in 2017, the sister filed the federal lawsuit alleging that the Senate violated U.S. Civil Rights Act by not practicing fair pay equity using a comparative study of her check and that of Camp's. And she then noted that the collective fired her in retaliation of her complaining about discrepancy in her earnings, which is normal for these Mzungus. Now, 2 years later, a federal grand jury decided that the sister was in fact discriminated against because of her race and gender, and it was noted that she got her job back as a result of the decision and $1 million award. Now, after this ruling, a federal judge ordered a new trial. Now, the 3-day trial ended on November 9th. It's with the same result, awarding Adams $2.75 million in damages, an amount rolled back because of the employment discrimination judgment capped at $300,000 under federal law. Now, after factoring in back pay, it's saying compensation for lost benefits, she walked away with $353,617.88. Now, the sister, she got paid. You know me, I love to see black people get paid for dealing with racism. Now, of course, the Karen here, who's in the hot seat during the campaign season, talking about her stance on race and gender. She says, I know that the disappointment felt by many Arizonians didn't start with the verdict in this case. Say what Ms. Adams experienced is yet another example of the systemic inequities and racism that have long permeated every aspect of our lives too often in ways that are invisible to people like me. Oh, my God. How are black people still Democrats? That's just a question I want to know. How black people are still Democrats? Because if this is a freaking Republican, you would be screaming, yelling, going off. And when you have people like Boule Martin, see that he know this stuff is going on. You know, people like Jamel Hill and all them other ones, they know this is going on to other black people. But they even if they talk about it, they don't talk about it to really go at not only the person, but the whole Democrat Party about their racism, because that's how they get their checks. But see, those of us who are in the grassroots, we could talk about how wicked the Democrat Party is to black people. They're just as, matter of fact, to me, they're more racist, because this woman sat up here, conspired with her other two white supremacist males to get rid of this sister, because this sister said, wait a minute, hold on, I'm doing more work. And he not doing the work. How is he getting paid $30,000 more than me? Please explain that to me. Oh, she complaining? Oh, no, we got to get her out of here. Don't you dare, black people, in their mind, don't you dare say, why am I paid the same like everybody else? They feel that the white male can get all the money he can, and you just need to be happy that you got a job. But you're supposed to be doing all the work. Let me tell you something. These people operate the same way they operated in slavery. These people want to get all the benefit without the work and have the black man or the black woman doing all the work while they benefit. They still have a slave master mentality. This is why I love to see black people creating their own businesses and working for themselves, or working for a company that's black owned, because we don't treat each other like that. We don't. If somebody is working like that for me, I'm going to make sure, definitely, I'm going to pay them. Now, I may not be able to get you at $150,000 a year just yet, but if we work together, and the moment we get there, I'm giving it to you. I've always been that way. I have no problem saying, here, I want to pay you for what you do, because I know how it feels to be in a position when you're doing all the work and nobody paying you. See, and what I love about today is we constantly exposing these people, and people throughout the world are seeing how these people get down. You understand? This is why I always say these people don't have the moral compass to be in leadership of nothing. Listen, if they racist and they have no power, that's fine with me. But they don't have the moral compass to be in law enforcement, politics, the military. That's the three main things that really, in the financial realm, when I mean that, I'm talking about real estate, the banks, all things like that. They don't have the moral compass for it. They don't. And if you want to know when America would actually get better, it's when they're not in charge of anything. That's when America would get better. Just being honest with you. Because they don't really know no other way to be. You have to understand, a lot of them are raised. They are raised to be this way. And it's sad. It's ugly sad, but that's not our sad to be dealing with. In their home, when we're not around, they're saying all kind of N-words. I guarantee they went to their house. How dare this N-word say that she need more money? You know how to get down. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story. I mean, this happens to black people all the freaking time. It really do. It's utterly sad. It's very sad, but you know what? This sister's gonna get paid, and you know me, in my position, I love to see black people get paid when they're dealing with racism. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.